With some directors, you know exactly what the angle is going to be and how it's going to be filmed. But with Lars, it's something about just preparing generally for the scene. You know, when you have the grinding wheel going through Willem Dafoe's leg, we just figure, well, we don't even have to really almost discuss it with Lars. We need a fake leg somehow. We know that, and we need a fake grinding wheel, and we need some different things. And we just bring it along, and we take it from there. Yeah. But of course, we explain to Lars, this is what we're going to bring. So I went down to Germany, and I cast his leg. So we had his leg in silicone, and we made it sort of nice and soft and with a bone inside, so it could move about a bit. Willem's pants go down to here, and she drills a hole right through the silicone, which kind of moves very much like human skin would, as you can see here. You're really secure that he'll only use the good stuff. Yeah, that's quite clear. That because for some directors you do have to worry if you film something that doesn't look good, say it's too close. But Lars is very visual like that, and he, so we feel very safe with filming things. Lars likes to do long takes, so we try to make it easy for him to film long takes with the different effects.
The scene with the leg was really long, actually, but cut very clever, so everything works. But there were big passages, that you could say that they maybe not work as good as they could have done with the fake leg, because it was not meant for that picture. So, but he's really good at choosing everything that's right, even from a long shoot.
And then, of course, we had the whole thing about this grinding wheel being strapped to Willem's leg. So what we did is we made two with different weights, two fake grinding wheels that are really lightweight. The real one weighed about 10 kilos, and this one here weighs hardly anything. And then we did another one, which is the one we used, like this, that weighs 4 kilos. So it's lighter than the real one, but still kind of heavy. This was then strapped to Willem's leg under the pants, kind of like this. And he would carry that around. Okay, stop. We had a lot of stuff with the deer.
Yeah, and a lot of talk with the animal trainers about how we could attach this fake features to the real deer.
He had a lot of requirements about how we could, what we could put on.
How heavy it could be, and
I think it was 1 kilo max. Yeah, and he was training in Parc somewhere, I think, with this deer with. It was a Kermit
dog. A harness with a frog. Actually, maybe not Kermit, but a fat frog in a way.
Yeah, a toy frog. And he sent these scary photos of a deer with a harness and a toy frog in it. Yeah. So the animal could get used to carrying something around. And of course, when we got there, the deer still freaked out pretty bad. We ended up using a nylon stocking to put the animal in, simply because it was very strong and it would hold well, because the deer would jump a couple of meters into the air when it got it on, so it had to be pretty strong. And this was secured to the harness, and the rest was fixed by Peter Hjort digitally afterwards. So the important thing for us with this was that the head sort of could swing like this, so that when it ran, this would sort of swing about. And that you really do see in the film, that the head is swinging like this. With some things, Lars was very specific. For example, the boy falling out of the window. He wasn't interested in getting a very articulate, realistic doll with a realistic face that looked like his. And for that, he was only interested in getting something for a very wide shot that could work on a distance. So the head and the hands and the feet for the baby doll was just like a mannequin. Yeah. And the only thing we worked on there was getting a realistic body that could move realistically. This is the dummy we made of the boy that falls out the window, and it's not a very exact doll. The head is very bad, and it's basically just made to sort of move like a real child would, so it can sort of fall in a realistic manner. When we read in the script the scene where she cuts off her clitoris, we of course also asked Lars what he wanted, and we kind of figured that he'd say that he didn't really want to see it, just the scissors disappearing between her legs. But to our surprise, he wanted to see the actual cutting of the clitoris. So we figured we'd do that in 2 steps. One step is to use a body double and having fake scissors, and then of course her real genitals. And the next part of the scene would be to have real scissors and then a silicone prop of her genitals, and that's why we made this one here. And the way it was done is we had Charlotte's body double come to our shop, and we made this cast of her. The area that had the clitoris would be something we could change, so you could do several takes of it without changing the whole lower body. So you just sort of have a little changeable piece you could put in and film it again. This is a cast of her, and then the silicone prop we made looks like this. And that was what was used. Then when they were filming it, they were sort of moving the legs about a little bit like this. And also the piece would have blood tubing, would have blood coming in here, so blood could flow out, of course, when she cut. Anything where we have been involved is intense to watch, but in a very different way than it is for other people. Because we always sit and just look at our own effects and how they work. It's a little difficult to, you sort of look for the mistakes and what you could have done different. So in that sense, it's the scenes that involve our effects are always a little difficult to sort of separate yourself from the work you've done and just watch it. So I was just looking and thinking, cool lenses, and that it worked. That was really, I'm sorry, I wish I could have felt different, but that's the way it is. It's our work, and it's the first time we see it. So the premiere is not a time to sort of take the film in as a film. And also I would say that I think that we're probably the only people who really watched the cutting of the clitoris, because we were watching how did it work. Everybody else were going like this, but not us. We were watching.